Hello, lads and gents, and one more match. That's all you have to endure. And anyone who did stay tuned, thank you very much. We do appreciate it as it's about to get even better. We're going on to the final match of Playday 1, and this is also a BO1. It's going to be match 4 Katana Gaming versus FDM. I'm not going to pronounce the name because I will get probably cancelled, either Twitter or Talent League. It's going to be one of them. And before we do head into the votes themselves or the map, well, the map is Clubhouse. It's pretty ordinary, but a bit less common nowadays. But before we do that, it's going to be joined by our new caster since Monday did leave. It's going to be Shamboreen. Hello.
Hello, how's things?
Well, it's our first time casting. Oh god,
Yep.
my shades fell off. Yeah, it's our first time casting, so this is going to be interesting. Same thing with Money, but always love to see it. And Money's a bit more of a starter, so even then he was all right. But from what I know from you, you have some decent experience, so this is going to be fun. This is going to be horrible. We are going to cry ourselves to sleep. But let's go over to the predictions, the community votes. All right, yeah. Also, the map bans. Before that, Clubhouse, we're getting it. Oregon's not in there. That's all I'm happy about. Oregon kind of caused kind of like the Great Depression in the server, so might as well refer to it as that. But can we switch over to the votes? I want to get over to staff predictions. Oh my goodness. Let's check them out. For community votes, Katana Gaming with a 46%, very close to FDM with 54. And of course, for the staff predictions, it's also quite close. This is the one time we agree upon it. It is going to be 4 votes and 4 votes for each team. Now, do you have any experience with these two teams, Chambereen?
I unfortunately do not. This is actually one of the first ones that I've done on PC because I am a console caster most of the time. So this is I think my second cast on PC, if I'm totally honest. So I am completely new, going into it completely blind. I don't know anyone. I don't know any of the teams. So I am here to learn.
All right. Always love to see it. Are both of the teams ready? Do we have that? All right, we still don't have it, but let's actually go over the map. The teams, FDM, they are apparently, I guess, an ex-roster-ish from Praetorian. Praetorian are very well known for being a talent league usual, so we're going to be seeing some familiar players. Lucas is also referred to as Bombi, a very aggressive player, a very good one. Frags were his thing, I believe. I hope my memory is not lying to me. But Katana Gaming, also a bit of a usual every now and then. Love to see them. So Clubhouse is going to be an interesting map because Clubhouse was one of those maps whose strategies have been kept on getting mixed up. Clubhouse has been changing, especially in the meta. But now that we haven't seen it in a while, it used to be a very common map, just like Oregon. We're going to have to see how it goes. So let's actually hop into it. And, from the console side, what would be the map, if you know, any bans for the operators here?
They can be a bit spicy on console. They're definitely quite a bit different. I mean, if anyone's been tuning into Twitter and the actual win deltas and stuff that were posted just a few weeks ago, the bans are a bit different. So, but when it comes to things like the actual competitive side of things, they are actually not too bad. They don't fluctuate too much. They've been definitely going with the knock bans. Solus has been banned a lot over recent weeks anyway, in my experience. And for Clubhouse, there's usually at least one hard breacher. So they have at least some form of it, and then they usually mess up something with like a random cav ban or something like that. But that's console, so what do you expect?
Yeah. Fair enough. But like you mentioned, the hard breacher goes out. It's going to be a Maverick, not your usual hard breacher. I mean, his gadget is hard breaching, but when it comes to those, you'd more expect Hibana, like we just mentioned, and Ace and Thermite, which both of them getting taken out. Now, why those specifically? It's going to be Maverick because specifically on platform or outside the main breach on CC, people do repel on Maverick footholds or whatever lines you can say are extremely deadly. You can't really peek them with precision, and the attackers just have such a big advantage over it. And also on Gym, you could say the same onto main stairs. Hibana also, hatches are quite a big part when it comes to downstairs. You need to breach 3 hatches, 2 hatches at least, and with that, there's going to be hard breach devices coming in, maybe even an Ace or Thermite helping out left and right. So yeah, we're going to have to see. Cade also getting banned, just so it kind of counteracts with the Hibana, and for the Maverick, it's going to be the opposite, Azami. So Katana Gaming with Maverick and Azami, not too usual. Azami has been actually popping off quite recently, especially with the amount of time she can waste, the amount of intel you can get from just the fact that someone has to break it. And also the part where you can kind of make very advantageous angles like pixel peaks and stuff like that just by placing down one simple barrier. So a very deadly operator. But what are your thoughts on these two lineups that we have?
Well, of course, we're going to be going to, I think it's the bottom floor, yes. It's, for me, in my experience, I mean, most of the time they go for, the bottom floor is not shown as early as this, usually. Over the last kind of couple of games I've at least been done console. And I will compare it to console a few times and that, just because it's not often you'll get someone that can kind of show you both sides of it. So, yeah, we're going to the bottom floor, we're going to see that. Of course, we've got the Solus on board, which I have genuinely never seen in competitive play because she's been banned in every single cast that I've covered. This is unheard of. I don't even know how it'll work. I've forgot how our gadget actually works at this point. It's crazy. It's unheard of. Smoke as well. I mean, he's a mainstay. He's always been there. He's always been hanging around. He's going to be in pretty much every lineup for the foreseeable future. Nice wee Mozzie pick as well, just to kind of slow things down, stop the drones coming in. Wamai and Militia as well. So just a couple of extra bits and pieces just to kind of round out the utility for the round. And I am very much excited to see how this is going to play out. Because of course, like I say, this is the first time I've been here. It's the first time I've been on the PC side. So I want to see how these players play and what they bring to the table.
So, new experience, first time for everything, eh? This is going to be very interesting. There is one thing that does scare me, though, the lack of hard breaches. You have the buck, you have the thermite, which is okay, but impact tricking on hatch, especially kitchen hatch, is a very common thing. So, if that does occur, they will not have enough. I mean, the Solus plus Lamai combined 4 impacts. That's all the breaches they have, so it's really a bit hard. I mean, you can secure bar hatch just because there's no impact tricking on it, but kitchen's going to be a bit more difficult. Forever taking some major damage, it seems like. Although Alfred doesn't get away unscathed either, and the Lion as well. Just getting some tick damage taken off of him. The scan comes in, and the Mozzie will be the one to get taken. Is there another? Yes, there is. Oh my god, what a shot from Lucas. Manages to pick off 1 and 2, and there comes the third onto Profe, getting taken out by Forever. He doesn't have too much HP, but he definitely has a will to finish the job. And another come in. Oh, what an unfortunate timing. It's going to be the Wamai on boosters. The second he peeks away. Oh, and of course he does not care about the smoke. The buck comes in and finishes the job.
Well, I was getting ready to come in there and talk about maybe the bans or talk about something or how they're going to push, but it just collapsed so quickly. The whole round was just over in seconds. They got into the map there after it was. It took them a time to get in, and then within 30 seconds it was done. That was over. There was a little bit of damage. I thought the sneaky play from the Mozzie on the stairs was going to benefit them. I thought that was looking like a good position for them, but they just shot it in so easily after, you know, it was quite a roam game that they played out there, and it was so simple for them.
Yeah, very true. I mean, it's even a flawless. It's the first round of today, and it's already going over to a flawless. Now, Clubhouse has been one of those maps, besides Oregon. There's a reason Oregon is so picked. It's besides the fact that it gives every caster trauma and, you know, observer and all that type of stuff. Besides that trauma, there's also the fact that it's very well-rounded. You know, defenders and attackers both have a chance. It's kind of a 50-50. It's not like really one-sided. Same goes for Clubhouse to some extent. Yeah. So, you know, a very nice map to have a check out, and seeing how the attackers have actually just managed to rush in, just absolutely destroy every single, you know, the Mozzie was on main stage chilling, managed to almost take out the Ana, but wasn't enough as there was someone right behind him on main stage. Gets started in the drone and sadly gets finished off without having much of a chance to redeem himself for those missed shots on the Ana. But yeah, let's see how this continues. I mean, Katana Gaming still hasn't lost any. Oh, besides one round. That's not much.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't altered much. They brought the Capcan along to change things up a little bit, and that'll slow them down. So that is a direct counter to what we've just seen. So hopefully for their sake, it does play a bit better. They are still playing the roam, however, so they're still going for that same idea as what they did before. There isn't as many people on the site. You can see them off-site, and it looks as though they're actually all going to congregate downstairs inside of the bar. They're opting not to actually put any presence on the top floor. Instead, they're just going to concede that right away and start to contest inside the kitchen and wait for these players to begin the push in towards that area so that they can defend that hatch.
Very true. I mean, the Habana may have been out of the match, but these guys are surely making use of their hard breaches. The Ace and the Thermite don't have too bad of a gun, so there's also some fragging potential with it. And there's even a Buck who has hard breach devices, so you can take out 3 of their hard breaches, and only then will you actually get rid of any type of, you know, breach opening and stuff like that. But even then, when you kill 3 people, it's pretty one-sided to that point, but no actual kills have seemed to get dropped any second. So Not even damage has been taken off, so this is a lot more of a passive match we're getting here. Not much roam potential. I mean, Prophet does seem to be hiding himself a bit more into dirt, ruin, whatever you want to call him, and it's gonna be just a bit more of a dragged out match. I mean, they're playing vertical, they can do as much as they want, but the defenders are just trying to avoid them a bit more, waste their time as much as they can, and it's interesting how there's no flank watch on the side as an operator that could actually do the job himself, like Claymores, like his nomads, gridlocks, all that type of stuff. So, yeah, this is going down very slowly.
Yeah, it's just part of that kind of fadeaway strat that they had there at the start. They just wanted to waste time and just show the attackers that they were actually roaming around the map. You've seen it, they took them a minute, and then once, as soon as I hit that 2-minute mark, everybody was back to site. Last time they got cut off on the rotate back to the site, and that's what happened. They just completely collapsed. This time, though, they've managed to succeed in getting back there safely, so they're all just going to play time, wait for these attackers to make their moves, and you can see that you've got Lucas inside kitchen, opening it up, basically making a whole lot of mess to try and get these angles to see if they can get someone off guard just inside the arsenal. Rowlo's down at the bottom of that main stairs now, and the pressure does start to come onto that main wall inside the church. Alfred will be feeling the heat now. Has the 1.5 in hand, so he'll be feeling himself at least enough to swing out and try and get a kill on the bottom of the main stairs. But holds the angle, knows that there's one there, but the shot is returned as Rowlo with the first pick. The opening frag is there, but the instant trade comes through. It's 4 versus 4 now, and Evan just holding at the doorway, just waiting for the ability to smoke. Does send it across if it takes quite a bit of damage, though will prevent at least the push coming through that main breach though. But the plant is now going down. Rafa has been able to get it now. It's a 3 versus 3 situation. The cover is there. Future though finds forever. Now it's a 1 versus 3, and Prophet has it all to do, but the diffuser is cold, or hot should I say, inside of Church, and the attackers take that round, and that is 2 on the board for FDM.
Very well played, and a nice shot to end it off. I'm surprised the smoke canister did not actually, kind of reach the thermite there that was planting behind black boxes. And with that in hand, that's actually kind of one of the reasons they managed to get that pressure down. And of course, with a 1v3 in hand, the Prophet himself could not hide himself too much, could not get away with all of that. So a bit too much pressure brought on in the end right there. The defenders did actually manage to get a refrag or 2 in, going in for very good. But besides that, I mean, very well played from FDM. I mean, they're just absolutely dominant. Especially, we do see that they also kind of like, not exchange, but they nicely sort out their kills, not too one-sided. And for the side of Katana, I mean, they've only gotten themselves 2 picks over the last 2 matches, which is not too great, which meaning, yeah, first round was an absolute flawless, and then just this. And of course, the timeout. Katana's already doing it very early, which is a smart move. You do want to shut off any type of flow, any type of consistency they have going on. So doing that as fast as they can to maybe get themselves back on board, to maybe even get a 4-2 in the end before the role swap happens, could actually be very essential. Now going back, we're going to be going CC and catch the map, which is actually not the map, the site which is very renowned for its main breach. I mean, you open this breach, all you have left is rafters, but the entire site is under your control. Even the red side, it's mostly very contested. So main breach here is extremely important, and that's why I'm assuming there's going to be a bandit, maybe some below plays from verticality, so the bandit can get naded. But I'm very sure that the attackers will make sure that that bandit will not be doing anything. Yet again, it's the ace, it's the thermite, all the breachers are coming in, and they're going to be making sure, even if one of them gets taken out, there's a second and a third with the buck in hand. And I'm assuming there's also maybe a chance of having a split push, maybe from construction, there's going to be one from main breach, whatever you call. Also from garage is very common. But besides that, we're just going to have to wait and see.
Yep, of course, nice to see a different site. Of course, we've just seen it twice down at the bottom one. They tried that roam twice. It was kind of successful, actually, that first part of the roam. It was only the second part when it got down to the actual final execute that all fell apart. The execute was beautifully done. The plant in towards Church was amazing. It was really well done. And, of course, moving on to CC now, we've had to change. Both sides have changed a little bit. I was going to say that no one had brought the EMP grenades, but Lion did manage to sneak them in just at the end there, so the bandit will have at least some sort of tricking to do. You'll see Evan on that wall just now with the bandit in hand, will be prepared to at least try and counteract some of this play that's going to come through. The Lion is there, arrived at their destination, joined by Ace, and now they'll begin moving here. Interesting enough, not brought the thermite to the other side, they're just opting to go straight for those Ace charges though, and right up against the wall though, manages to get the bandit, gets the trick off, but not aware of the fact that the aggression is there from Row, and that is the opening pick on the board for FDM.
A very good opening kill, especially on the bandit. That means the breach is completely free as they do. And yep, there it comes. There's probably going to be someone helping it, even from the platform rappel. And of course, with that, red starts getting contested. And even rafters is going to be a very hard spot. Construction as well, but not so much, I believe. The defenders shouldn't be focusing on it too much for now. But with the bandit out of the way, there's also a C4. And there could have been extremely potential, and there comes the construction. It starts getting pushed, and that's going to be two sides that defenders are going to be just kind of cornered in. I mean, they'll have rafters in red, yeah, but for the plant side, they're not going to be able to defend against it very much. Alfred getting a bit more aggressive on the main breach. It doesn't seem like anyone's actually holding it. They're going to be focusing on a completely different side. Now, Baba right now trying to get a pick of his own onto bottom red, maybe trying to get a bit of a roamy slash cocky, whatever you want to call it, player. But with 1 minute and 20 on the clock, it doesn't seem like the attackers are getting any progress. I mean, yeah, they got main breach, but what now? They have to push construction, and that's where things could actually start getting a bit more sticky, a bit more tricky, as you may say.
Yeah, they've rotated in the thermite now, just as you said that, and they've been able to at least attempt to get the wall open, which is not going to be successful. You heard a I don't know if it was a trick that went off there. I don't know how it was prevented, or maybe someone shot it off, but Alfredo is going to at least find one back. That's forever dealt with, and the pressure from that ash coming in from construction is shut down. Now, Baba is able to take a little bit of damage, though, and Lion-O is going to get another one, and it's Katana down to 3 members left against the 4 of FDM as they push through towards this cash room. And now Raphael going in towards the doorway there, though, but somehow Alfred is able to return fire and gets the shot here off and gets the kill. Baba now is left with a 2 versus 2 situation, and it's down to about 5 HP, not quite in the greatest scenario as it stands for him in terms of his HP, although in a decent scenario at the moment, because they can at least get themselves doubled up together inside the site, and they will at least have an opportunity to get this diffuser down if they can get to it, but they do have to cross through site. They have to wade through the pressure inside of cash, but they can't quite find the players. They don't have the information, and surely the defenders have the information that they have the diffuser in cash. They do. Alfred with the triple doesn't quite get the 4 though, as he's dealt with eventually now, and Rob has to plant though, because of course there's only 2 seconds left on the clock, but can't quite get the diffuser down in time, and doesn't realise that the clock is just ticked all the way out, and the defenders finally get themselves around.
It was just exchange after exchange. I mean, bodies were getting dropped one after another, but sadly, it's going to be Katana Gaming's first round that they managed to win. You know, that absolute Rooney with the DMR, she may not have the P10 Rooney, but she has the power to actually just mow through the enemy. It was one after another. A triple kill at the end, right? They're even holding the diffuser hostage till the very last 10 seconds, managing to take out the line, damage the ace, and of course, waste just enough time for them to get their round safely and secure. Going over to Jim, we're going to be seeing a nice layout. I'm surprised we're not seeing any castle here, although contention from the side of windows is a bit risky even for the attackers themselves, but who knows, maybe they'll be up for the challenge. Now, yeah, I'm starting to really get, I'm starting to be a really big fan of this don't bring just one hard breacher, because that doesn't seem to always work out. Now, for the defensive side, we have the bandit again, we have the Jaeger, we have the smoke, we have whatever, and the bandit tricking could also come back into place. But with the EMPs, it's going to be, to say, per se, a lot more difficult. Even the Solus is also an interesting operator. The roaming side is going to be done by Alibi. She's going to be extending over to the side of Cash, so, you know, you always got to extend. It's above, it's below, whatever you want to call it. Some extension is always needed due to the fact that you don't want to give the attackers too much pressure. Evan actually taking some damage. I wonder the word that was. Let's hope it wasn't a potential spawn peak. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's Jim. And that's just a fact.
Yeah, certainly is. I don't think the bandit trick's going to go for too much. I think he's actually just holding inside the bathroom at the minute. We're rotating between Jim, just has him pre-placed already, so not opting to go for an active bandit trick last time. It was unfortunate they didn't quite work out last time. They managed to get the wall open, but they were able to at least get one trick off, but there was no one there on the coverage the last time. But this time, Forever though is going to at least get potentially the first pick, almost there, just misses out the player above there, sends up a nade, but doesn't quite connect to its target above onto Prophet, who's now rotated in towards construction there, but a shot is found, and it's the head of Alfred that is deleted out with the round inside of Secret there. Forever is able to get themselves onto the scoreboard here in this site, inside this round, and now we're in a 5 versus 4 situation in favour of FDM.
Indeed, indeed. I mean, look, the man advantage is there, but the time wastage wasn't too bad either. I mean, the last to the 1 minute and 40 seconds, which could be essential like it was in the previous round. The Katana actually won due to their time just kind of lacking out. Now, with 1 minute and 30 on the clock, it's starting to slowly go down, and Logi sides, below is still being contested quite heavily as another kill does get dropped onto Evan. It's going to be another kill, 3v5. It's just looking worse and worse. Oh my god, what a shot from Forever. A one-tap just to finish it off. Does he get another? Yes, he does. A quad kill. Will he be able to finish it off? We've seen 3 aces that could not be finished by a quad kill, and will we see one? Just finish it off with an ace, please, Forever. Do this for the sake of Talent League. Does he do it? No, he does not. Another flawless round from the side of FDM, but another tier spared. Actually, not tier, just a tear dropped from the side of us casters. This is the 4th match today, which was a quad kill. We were all hoping for that ace. Didn't happen.
Yeah, we were building it up, hoping, praying that we could finally get one. And I'm very surprised that that way that round played out. There was absolutely nothing in terms of the utility play. It was all just frags, people just peeking in at the wrong area and standing in kind of idle positions and doorways and not quite paying attention to the fact that there was a killer on the loose in the form of Forever, who was just clearing through the map, face checking everything. There wasn't even any real attempt to actually play traditional Siege with it. It was just, I'm going to play this like it's a COD lobby and try and kill as many people as I possibly can. There was no attempt to open a wall or anything like that. So in terms of analysis, we can pretty much chalk that round off as just a round of deaths. That's basically it.
Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, nope. Still at the end of the day, actually, FDM is looking a very good situation. I mean, they've secured themselves 3 rounds, which meaning the role swap can't go anything but bad. If they manage to actually get to a 5-1, this should be... I mean, it's going that way, or that direction, most certainly. With the way they've been playing and adapting, the Katana got 1 round. After that, they completely switched up the playstyle, it seems like, and just the aggression is way back. So... going back downstairs, we're going to see how Katana can actually... maybe switch up their playstyles a bit more. I meant FDM switching up their playstyles. That is my bad. 4 hours of casting is not healthy. May I say that? But yeah, so a bit more roaming. No, it is not. But yeah, no, roaming's still in there, and the aggression is still. But also, I do like the Mozzie was alone last time upstairs. Now he's had the Legion does have a bit of support, but Prophet, they seem to be ignoring the roamers completely. Prophet gets taken out, but there's a refrag from the side of Future. They kind of just ignored the Solus and everyone. The Yana just went downstairs. They managed to pick off 1, but refragged not too shortly after. But this is good. They've actually distracted the defenders extremely well, and now they've secured themselves the 2 floors.
Yep, they've certainly done a decent job at least slowing down that roam and getting them back to the site and forcing them back in there. Now, Forever did get quite cheeky there and got all the way down the main stairs and got himself a pick, but it was almost like they were just stuck in no man's land. There was no support, there was no one there. They were just kind of stuck with the kind of, oh, wait a minute, I didn't realise I was going to get this far all the way to site. What do I do next? And he kind of almost couldn't decide. Kind of took half of a gunfight and then eventually died and fell, and that's where the trade came through before everyone can get back to site. So 4 members now in site, comfortable, just waiting for whatever the attackers are going to bring. And I was quite happy with the way Katana had actually defended this the last time. They actually done a pretty good job all the way up until they execute. I felt like the way they wasted time and the way that we're seeing just now is actually pretty successful. It's this final execute though that is where it went kind of wrong last time, if you will. So I'm hoping this time they have something in place and they have some form of denial ready to do it. It does look like they have the Wamai ready to peek it aggressively, but the same kill happened last time, exactly the same thing. It was the ace in the same position. Ral was able to get the other person who swung. I can't remember who it was who took that swung, but swing this even. This time it's LKS that takes that, and now we're down to a 4 versus 3 situation. Still not too bad for Katana. They've got 40 seconds left on the clock. They still have plenty of time to kind of get themselves in the comfortable position, reorganise, and wait for this execute to come in. But the attackers are going to be feeling hungry for this. They're going to be ready to get themselves down towards site. Though the swing comes through to the bottom of the main stairs, it's Alfred to bite one back. Rafa though is going to find another on Alfred, and the instant refrag comes through, and it's 2 versus 3 situation now. And the hold though coming through from Evan, who sends the smoke thief, gets quite a bit of damage onto Rafa. Can he get out alive? He is able to escape. At least it's 1 versus 3 situation now, and it's Future left with all to do. Everything in his hands. Gets SMG 11 in hands, gets a double kill on the round, and is able to bring it for a 1 versus 2 situation. But the diffuser is still in the hands of Rafa, still thinking about this plant, and Lucas is on the coverage. The plant is now being being attempted is going to be going down though, but not able to land a shot. It's actually a trade that comes out, and the attackers are able to win that out just because of the man count, and that is another round on the board for FDM.
Does that round remind you of any previous rounds?
Yes,
1v3 in the end? Downstairs. Oh, very well played. I mean, that Yana, I guess she actually did kind of win the match. If you think about it, pushing them back, just kind of getting that one frag on the mute. C4 is also out of the match, and then them just absolutely coming down, obliterating. And, you know, I feel like I'm not even a caster anymore. Every time someone casts and there's a kill, I'm just a sound call guy. I'm just, ooh, ah. And that's what I'm known for now. But yeah, anyways, well played from Diana, and it was just a big brain strat right there to kind of lure in the roamers to come to her, so they couldn't really do their job as simply. But of course, we're back onto CC. This is the side where you'd expect attackers to have way of an easier job, but the defender still managed to do it one way or another, and of course with the time wastage on hand, it actually went out pretty well last time, but let's see if they can do that yet again. I mean, it was the only round they won out of the 6 currently in play, so maybe, just maybe they can secure themselves at least a 4-2. If they can't, good luck. That's all I'm gonna say. Good luck.
Well, the thing is Katana have been close. Like, just 2 rounds that have went to the wire with executions, and it's just in those final minutes that the execution has been almost flawless, and that's what the issue is. Katana, I feel kind of bad for them because their strats are there. They've clearly got a well kind of thought out strategy and a decent kind of tactic kind of behind them, but they're just not quite putting them in the right place at the right time, and I'm hoping they can get it at some point. Although, we're off to a kind of tricky start here because we have a job to do with the bandit trick here. And Evan doesn't going to get it off this time, but is at least able to get away with their life this time and back into cash. So hopefully they're able to play off of that later on the round. Baba though is going to open up the scoreboard here, finds Profit on the first kill on the round for FDM. And now we're in a 5 versus 4 situation with the breach open, and it's a pretty good start for the attackers.
Yep. Not like we haven't seen that for the past 4 or so rounds, but hey, who knows? Maybe we'll see a bit of a switch up every now and then. Maybe, of course, good old Alfred will go on an absolute streak again. And Future, he seems a bit overconfident. Seems like maybe he can out-drone the player. And it actually seems to work out. He gets the kill onto the line, evening out the scoreboard. And there it comes to a 4v4, no more mad advantage. And some time wasted, kind of putting a bit more pressure on the attackers due to the fact that, you know, you never know when he's going to run out. The Ash seems to be trying to clear of him, and Alfred playing on Rafters is going to be quite deadly. I mean, the long range that DMR can have all over the breach can be unexpected, to say the least. Forever seems to be trying to flush out the Jaeger. She is expecting him, but not completely, though. Not completely. The Jaeger's there, but they don't have complete control over the bottom side. The Ashes come out, the bandits are getting destroyed, and that's Ash's job done. Now it's going to be a clash between a Jaeger and an Ash. The casual no-brainers, as they call them, but holy was that unfortunate. The second he peeks away, it's going to be a kill. Another kill drop from the Thermite, making it 2v3, and the Sledge also getting taken out. And what an unfortunate turn. It's that timing. Oh,
yeah,
goodness.
That's unfortunate. It just falls apart there. Just time and time again, it's just the tiny parts that are going wrong for Katana. I feel like both teams are playing well, ticking the boxes and stuff, but it's just the tiny parts that are kind of falling apart here. But look at this shot though, that's threaded straight into the skull of the attacking player on that platform area. It's Alfred that's able to get it, and now another swing at the top of the staircase, and finally it looks as though we have a man advantage in the favour of Katana. I'm hyped, I'm standing up, I'm ready to scream for these players that are able to get themselves another round on the board. But look at this, it's Rauv through the door, and he's not able to get in. The laser gate does stop him in his tracks before the DMR is sent straight into his chest, and that'll be another round on the board for the defenders of Katana. Finally, we can talk up at least a little bit of juiciness in their form.
That was well played. Again, it was a bit more Alfred on the end there that kind of did the job. But hey, the whole team contributed, and that Jaeger did actually manage to do something. I mean, taking out the Lion was quite essential. That Ash, how about we just don't speak of it? I think that's like the 3rd, 4th time that something so unfortunate has happened in this match. So, you know, 4-2 score isn't all that bad. But let's see if they can actually manage to still make something out of it. For a second, I was kind of scared. I thought they were going bar, but thankfully, it's going to be downstairs, and the lineup is going to get switched up for a bit. You know, we're going to be seeing the Flores come out on the attacking side, which, correct me, but holy, can Flores do some damage, especially on these tight corners, you know, behind Bar and Church. behind any type of box and arsenal, just absolute demolition, and the Mira to join him on that is going to be quite a counterpart, so we're going to have to see how these two can clash against each other. Both strong guns, both utility are off the chart, and there is Solus. This is why she gets banned sometimes. She's just, the pre-placed drones are just kind of annihilating, you know, you never know. You try to clear out things quickly, but Solus is there to kind of screw you over, even baiting out a spawn peek, it seems like, but no, I don't think they're going to be kind of falling for that. And yes, doesn't seem like too much of aggression from the side of MDM, so let's get started. Sludge going into garage, and they're doing this very quickly. Oh my god.
Yep, just opening up garage and making a couple of angles for themselves to get themselves in and get searching for this Flores, who's been a bit of a rogue so far, just moving around the map, dealing with the electronics that you can see spotted through the wall. Is thinking about the hop out, knows there's one on that drone there, can see through the wall, is dying to jump out that window. Gets rid of the Claymore, so is able to do so if they want to, but instead just drop back to sight. Not going to bother going for it, doesn't want to take the risk, knows they're just around the corner, and if they do decide to do that, they will forfeit their life for it. Profit inside the garage, just knows that there's a Solus around the area, knows that they were playing there last, but not quite wanting to go through just yet. Just holding the angle, waiting for their teammates to get through this map and drone it out and get themselves some control. You can see Forever moving at the top of your screen there. Alfred's just above them at the moment, moving down that main staircase. You can see the drones going ahead. They're getting this all tied together nicely so far. The first minute, they're clearing through the map. They've got at least the top floor. Now they're looking for that second floor. The butt coming through now to open up these angles to the bottom of that main stairs. Does see some Tootsies there just passing through that double door, but not able to land any shots. Future is now able to get into a comfortable position to open up these walls and open up that kitchen area, and of course make some angles in towards the deep arsenal area so that they can get rid of any players that are moving around there. The Claymore goes down, which is interesting. It's not going on the back of that ladder, which is usually where it goes, but we'll talk about that another time. Raldo takes quite a bit of damage inside the kitchen, is actually going to play the life in here. Will be no chance getting out of here because they are locked in there. The hatch is closed, and that's exactly what happened. Alfred comes in for the hunt and is able to deal with them efficiently, and now we're in a 5 versus 4 situation.
The defenders aren't doing too bad of a job. That Valkyrie just stalling out a bit more than needed. And what a kill from the Solus. The P90 comes out even damaging, actually knocking out the Yana. Double kill, very unexpected. Just trying to transfer over the man side to the side of the defenders. And of course, with that in mind, I mean, the attackers are in a rough spot. They have hatches, they have verticality, but what now? They need to start getting frags, and they certainly can't just go for refrag after refrag because, well, then they'll be at quite a disadvantage. That Solus did actually change the tides extremely quickly, and even the Smokes with 2 canisters left remaining, he's going to be playing very safely on the side of Dirt. And now these canisters will be definitely essential, and oh, you take on him, sorry.
Oh my word, that is an unbelievable shot that comes straight through the doorway in towards Arsenal. It's a 2 versus 2 situation, and suddenly it's actually not too bad a situation for the attackers, and now it's a double kill for Evan to bring it to a 2 versus 1, but the information is found inside the blue, and the swing comes through for Baba. It's a 1 versus 1 situation. Can Katana hold out here and get himself another round on the first attack here, but it's spotted through the Mira. Baba knows exactly where the thermite is. The swing comes through, and it's Ring of Rosies, and eventually Baba's on top, and FDM take another round, this time on the defense.
Holy! Wow, that was even closer than I expected. I imagined the Jaeger to actually finish it off with a wallbang, but it didn't seem like the Thermite was taking it, speeding through the site. You know, it'd be funny if the Jaeger kind of just switched sides the second the Thermite got in. They wouldn't see it and the Thermite would be lost, but, you know, doesn't matter. It's going to be another round going to FDM. 5-2, one more round they're going to match point, meaning this is extremely dominant. Not like kind of pretty much all the matches we have for the today. The first match 7-2, second match 7-2, third match 7-5, 7-4, something like that. But that wouldn't be it was 7-4. But like I wouldn't be surprised if 7-2 is the end here. I mean, FDM is just absolutely dominant. They both have strikes, like you mentioned. They're playing them well, but it's just team chemistry and kind of how you go around things, how you use your utility, which is making the difference. This is kind of the experience difference. And of course, with that in hand, I'm actually quite surprised there's no Bandit. I mean, to be honest, it's quite obvious because Bandit just doesn't work out. If they bring EMPs, if they bring that and that, Bandit just can't do much. You know, he can only do so much. But of course, with that in mind, they're going to be giving up main breach as for now. And kind of, I feel like, yeah, most definitely focusing a little bit more on construction, just extension, to help themselves out in the late round. Wow, I do believe that was an attempted spawn peek, a bit too cocky from the side of our FDM, but that's going to be Rafa taken out as the mute player, you know. He tried to spawn peek, and, well, it did not work out.
No, I mean, they're 5-2 up, so you can kind of start to expect these kind of riskier plays as well. But it does gift Profit his first kill, so they are able to get themselves on the board. Finally, after 7 rounds, they're able to get one of those elusive picks. So maybe this is the activator, maybe this is the chance for Katana to get back into it. Like I say, there's been a couple of parts where I've actually thought, well, Katana could have got this here, but there's not really a difference maker on the side for Katana. There is, though, on the side of FDM, and it's the form of forever. Every single time just seems to be somewhere causing havoc on the round. You've also got Baba as well coming in at 9 kills at the minute. So there is a couple of players that are stepping up to the plate for the side of FDM, and that's what Katana are actually missing. They're ticking the boxes early on, and they're just not able to get into the late round, though, because of it. Forever, though, opens up the scoreboard inside of this round, is able to find Future, and now Katana begin to move in towards CC. The nade is cooked and it's sent towards the top of the red stairs, but they're able to evacuate that area, though. But Baba is not aware of the fact that LKS is on the flank watch down below, not aware someone's holding on to the secret staircase, just waiting, lying there for someone to come through, and gets that rotating that kill coming through there. So it's nice to see Katana with a little bit of push coming through here from CCTV. They seem to have the control they need, but look at this. Lucas is going to bite back for 1, and it's now a 3 versus 3 situation. And now Katana are going to probably feeling the pressure a little bit here as they get to the minute mark now, and this is where things start to have to speed up, and you start taking a bit more of the map from the side of FDM.
Very true. I mean, still right now 1 minute on the clock. There doesn't seem to be much progress from the ace in general. I mean, Logi's still secured to just, they don't have much progression or pressure on the defending side. They seem to be quite chilling in their own comfortable space. I mean, the Alibi is still holding out Logi just behind her clone, very nice and easy. And a bit of verticality from below from, I believe it was Diana, but that's not going to be helping out too much. I mean, the Flores is trying to help out the ice, you know, get a fragment to just some sort of heads up, but actually that does manage to happen. It's going to be another kill dropped on by the Yana. It's going to be the verticality, a very good pick. Oh, that is unfortunate. The nade would have came in very useful, but the second he moves away and the main stairs get peeked, the Wamai with another kill onto contraction door, and then he picks off the second, winning yet another round, and it is 6-2. Match point.
There's things like that. That's a perfect example. The attack actually wasn't too bad. They'd got themselves into a man advantage at one point, approaching cash. They did lose it, which is you know, it happens. But it gets to the point where it's just that final part. They just can't tidy up that last minute of the round. Every single time they're just messing it up. They channeled 2 players through the same door. The Ayana was not aware of the fact that there was someone coming down that staircase. They were clearly communicating though, because they had information that there was a player moving around that gym area, and that's where they changed. You seen that they were going to cook that nade to send the other way. They decided to change it, so they're clearly talking to each other. But there was obviously no one on that flank, no one watching for the main stairs area. Just pop down there, and suddenly it's a 2 versus 2 situation. And we know exactly how it's been playing out throughout the whole game for those. Every single time, FDM are coming on top of them, and that's just the unfortunate the kind of game for Katana so far.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, yeah, there's not much to say. I mean, Katana is just having a very, you know, I won't blame it all on bad luck. That's just plain fucking dumb. Like, it is quite unfortunate to some extent, like some moments there and left and right that they've had that could have actually maybe won them a couple of extra rounds, so you never know. But without further ado, I see, you know, as much as I love going for the underdogs, it seems like FDM is gonna easily take away this one. It's gonna be like the first and the second, and you get a bit quicker than expected. And of course, comes out the ace, comes out the buck, but not hard breaches, and Thermite's still in hand. You know, you still have 2 hard breaches just in case the run out comes in. And just like you mentioned, these cocky plays are a bit more to expected when they are on the completely winning board. I mean, Katana needs to win 4 rounds in a roll, for gosh sake. It's almost just pressuring, and oh my god, a run out comes in from the Jaeger, gets the double kill. It's not expected, and I don't want to blame Katana, but they kind of did it. Like, he ran out once. What do you think is going to stop him from doing it twice? And even the Future himself, you know, the Yana is extremely low. This is just an all-out horrible situation they put themselves in, especially without running. They should have. It happened previous match. They were also, well, previous round they were also extremely aggressive because of the score difference, and You just got to start expecting it at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give Lucas the credit though, because as much as they should have been aware of the fact that Gresham would probably come out, though, Forever was the one that actually went for the peak from below. There was also another player. Lucas was inside the secret, so they were not aware of the fact there was going to be two players there. So they knew there was a soloist inside the stock, but they didn't know that the Jaeger was going to be there, and he just popped right out there and got the swing. Look at the swing come from here for Lucas on the triple kill, as the SMG11 is able to get himself another one on the round, deals with the person on the platform, and now it's left Prophet, the one with one frag to his name. Can he clutch it up? No, the shotgun goes straight in his face, and FDM take the 7-2.
Well, that's going to be happening for the third time in a row. And, well, that's going to be finishing it up for round number 4. A very late match, but starting it at least finished up quickly. FDM did not joke around. At the end, they got a bit more aggressive, but at least they didn't do it in the complete, dumbest way possible. They actually thought about it. But well played from Katana. Nice try. And both teams just absolutely dominant to say. We have some interesting matches today. Clubhouse was a bit of a meh one at the end, but of course, with what we've had today, I'm very satisfied. And besides that, I think that should be it for today. Shameless plug, if you feel like you want to cast, you want to produce anything like that, make sure to join the description. The Discord, not the description. Don't join the description. That's not how it goes. But yes, do join the Discord. We will happily welcome you. Thank you again. This was our first time casting Shamarine. It was a pleasure. You are very good at casting, so probably better than me. But yeah, besides that, we hope you enjoyed today's stream. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Stay talented. Goodbye.